Howdy, Neil here, and I'm going to read to you from my new book, Galaxy Political Agenda. It's a science fiction thriller which discusses the political issues between humans and a human-like species known as the Trogdaro. It was a gloomy day on Perisium 6. Benjen had just woken from a 7-day space stasis. He already had the space case on his mind. "My papers," he said. No one was. So yeah, I've been playing the skill crane since I was about 7 years old. I remember it perfectly. My family and I was leaving the Remy supermarket, and while walking out, I turned and I'm staring eye to eye with a purple giraffe, and I just had to have it. By the end of the year, if people wanted to find me, they had to stop by that Remy's. They would say, "Hey, I wonder where Craig is, you know?" And yeah, they know where Craig is. He's at the Remy's, clearing out the crane machine. My bedroom was full of stuffed bears, orangutans, and alligators wearing oversized sunglasses. Oh yeah, and that purple giraffe? Here he is right here. I named him Leonard after guess who? That's right, the Spock. You know, I got this job as an actual crane operator for a while. But the goal just really wasn't the same, you know? I couldn't connect. I kept picking cars up, the managers would yell at me. There's 4 things you gotta know: control, button, timing, and timing. I say timing twice cause it's that important. If you want to get anything from a troll doll to a digital watch with a Hello Kitty on it, you gotta watch your timing. And then you gotta hit that button at just the right moment. And you gotta move the controls to get that crane in just the right direction overhead from your stuffed little victim right below. You know, I played in arcades all around the tri-state area, and when it comes down to brass tacks, I still like playing in the same old Remy supermarket where I started. It's like visiting an old friend, you know? I remember the feel of those controls, how they stick a little to the left. It just brings you back, and you can't put a price on that. You know, there's been girls, but they're like a stuffed rabbit that's head's buried just way too low. You know, I just can't get my crane wrapped around it. Oh yeah, I got some stories. This one time, I go to the arcade, and who do I see? It's none other than the King of Kong himself, Mr. Billy Mitchell. He's standing around the skill crane. I go up to him, and without a pause, he says, "Look at that robot in there. I bet nobody could get that." Now, most people would have been like, "Hey, this is Billy Mitchell. This man knows what he's talking about." But I look at him square in the eyes and I say, "Hey Billy, if that's what you think, you better stick to burger time." I pop 2 quarters in, I get him the robot, and then I throw a Pokemon keychain on top of it. Go back to jumping barrels, Billy, and leave the crane into the big boys. You know, it's like looking into a portal, and in the portal, you see everything you ever wanted. You see a friendly bear in a bow tie, you see an Angry Birds, you see a Batman, and you get to be in that place for just a little bit. Till you clean out the machine, Craig Burger style.
Holy shark.
Now I see that you humans have just as much right to life as us, the Trogdaro, and I believe we can live in peace from this moment on until the second end of time.
If you want more of my stupid jokes, You should subscribe by hitting the subscribe button on YouTube. If you want to leave me a comment, you just post down below on the YouTube page. If you'd like to tweet at me on Twitter, @Neally. Here is an example of one of my tweets. @Neally says, "I just did all those horrible things you were hoping I wouldn't." There's more of that on there. And until next time, keep looking to the ground. You may find $1.